Hi, I'm Mario Labad and welcome to Klik Celebrity Corner, where beautiful people meet and share their thoughts because every story inspires and every inspiring story must be shared. Our guest tonight is a talented performing artist who is becoming a familiar voice, singing classical Broadway songs in musical theater, a recording artist, host, and a Best Performer awardee. Her family name is synonymous to a business center called the Greenfield District in Mandaluyong. Friends, please welcome two-time Aliw Awardee, Miss Niña Campos. Hi, Miss Niña. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Such a pleasure.
Okay, always, anytime.
Oh my
I'm
God.
glad you find time to come and join us tonight.
Thank you.
Anyway, how's everything with you nowadays?
Nowadays, it's really good. Busy. And I'm starting to explore other genres as well in terms of music.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really
good.
fun.
Not only classical Broadway, huh?
Yes.
Venturing into something new.
Yes.
Oh, anyway, Miss Nins,
Mhm.
you're known to be a classical Broadway singer
Yes.
and a soprano. Did you take a formal training in voice?
I did back when I was for opera. I started formal trainings back when 2019.
Okay. Oh, just recently.
So I was at the time I was still like 17 or 18.
Oh, still in college then.
So that's when I started
Mhm.
opera. But before that, I had
Under whose?
so my mentor before was Sir Andrew Fernando.
Mhm.
He is a baritone who is Filipino based in Guam.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
You went to Guam?
I wish I did.
Anyway,
Mhm.
when you sing classical Broadway, is
Mhm.
this the same as classical songs or Broadway or separate classical songs and Broadway songs? Please enlighten us on this.
So, as far as I'm understanding, Broadway is more like it's not quite classical. Classical,
Okay.
you think of things like kundiman.
Mhm.
In terms of orchestration, it's also different. Normally you use piano, guitar, flute,
Strings.
violin, normally strings
Uh-huh.
and all that. Compared to musical theater, mas malawak yung range in terms
Uh-huh.
of instrumentals and
Mhm.
also there's more of a storytelling when it comes to the songs.
Mhm.
Whereas in terms of classical, you're more on the technique
And the
besides
voice.
the story and as
Uh-huh.
well as the voice too.
Uh-huh.
So,
How did you get into music in the first place?
music has always
Particularly this
been
kind of
the genre,
genre,
yeah.
yeah.
I've always really loved music, first and foremost. In a way, it has kind of saved me from many scenarios as well.
Like what scenario?
Like for example, if things were hard at home and I was having a hard time,
Okay.
music would help me as a coping thing. So I'd
Okay.
listen to it based on different moods. If I'm
Mhm.
sad, if I'm happy, if I'm like not feeling really well, I
Mhm.
listen to different kinds of music now.
Oh.
Yes, so like for example, if I'm feeling very groovy, I listen to 70s music.
Uh-huh.
If I listen to classical, then I'm normally studying.
Mhm.
If I listen to like Broadway, then I'm probably just I need a mood lifter,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mm.
So yeah, like music has just always been a very big passion for me. And then when it comes to the classical and Broadway genre, it's something that's more fun for me
At a very
because
young age, that's already fun for
it's
you.
so fun because you have no idea how many stories you can learn just from the music. You
Mm-hmm.
can always individualize each song
Mm-hmm.
from the main theater or the main production. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have this opera production of Turandot, wherein there's this princess who beheads anybody who doesn't correctly guess her name three
Mm-hmm.
times. But for example, everybody knows that song, um, the Nessun Dorma. If you hear it, Nessun Dorma, you know,
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows that song. So even if you don't know the full story, you can still appreciate all the songs in its own right, as they also tell their own little partial story. So it just really helps. It also, I love fiction also. So it kind of really helps in getting me inspired, helping me relate and everything.
And when you sing your crush?
Sino kaya yan?
Oh,
Oh.
Miss Nis, is there anybody in your family who's into music who influenced you a lot, maybe?
In terms of music, not everyone is quite musically inclined. But I remember back when I was a kid, my brother used to play guitar, just as a hobby. He used to play, and but
Older brother.
my eldest brother, yes, from my
Okay.
mom's side. He used to play guitar, but now I don't think so. But now, as far as I know, my nieces and nephews, they love music as well. If I'm not mistaken, my niece and my nephew, either they play guitar or piano or they know how to play violin.
So you also play some instruments?
I know how to play piano. I had some background. In terms of guitar, I'm more of self-taught.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of training yourself musically, aside from the voice lesson you mentioned earlier, what other trainings did you undergo to prepare yourself for this kind of music?
For music, it's kind of different because when you're singing, it's not like pop wherein like you need to work out because of all the dancing. And when it comes to classical, even if you don't work out, you're basically working out as you sing. So in terms of the techniques, you learn how to sing from the diaphragm and not the throat. And sometimes if you're new to it, it's very, very hard. So you can actually feel as if you're working out. By the end of like maybe 10 minutes, if you try it, you're going to be out of breath.
Is that the kind of training you got from your music teacher, or it was a weirdo thing na research mo somewhere na this can help me?
More of, I learned most of my techniques from my mentors.
Okay.
I used to be in choir as well.
Yeah, I want to ask you something. You started joining choir back in high school, I suppose.
Yes. That before that, I was learning piano, and that teacher introduced me to her choir. Because it was also a way for me to learn different kinds of music. It was through this Chinoy choir that I actually learned how to sing some songs in Chinese as well. I don't speak Chinese.
Why Chinese choir?
Well, I mean, it's just that it was just a matter of convenience because the teacher was the same person. But I mean, why not, right? In opera, you learn Italian, Latin, French, German.
And Chinese are very good opera singers, right?
Exactly. They're so talented. I love it.
And when you went to college, did you also became part of a choir?
In college, no. There was at Mint, we have this vocal group called Mint Riffs. And I joined them for like a semester. And then after, I didn't join anymore. I went solo.
But you didn't finish music in college? What
no.
course did you?
For college, I am still studying music business management.
Until now?
Until now, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm finishing.
How's the time management?
It's
School,
okay.
music, and your rackets, the place you're joining.
So it's more or less a juggle between priorities at this point. If you have class, you have to work around it. But then you can. What's great about my school is you can tell them that you have there's a artist. How do you call it? It's if you're an artist, you can tell them that like I might not have a rigid schedule, so I need to be flexible. They will put you into this program that allows you as an artist to go freely and still submit your work and then just catch up whenever. So if, for example, I have a very important event that I can't miss it, but I have school that day, then I'll just like message the teacher. I'll be like, hi, sorry, I'll just be absent. I just have a event I can't miss it.
Just a text away with all your teachers.
Email, text,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Nins. You're a performing artist. Does this include stage performing, acting
Yes.
through music?
Yes.
Okay.
I did Cenaculo back in 2014,
Uh-huh.
and also a few years after that, there was also this musical called Santa Faustina, the musical.
Yeah,
So I
Saint
was a part of
Faustina.
that.
Uh-huh. So, the acting side, where did you get that?
Through Cenaculo. I was
That was your
really
very first
That was my very
musical.
first. I was really not supposed to be an actor,
Uh-huh.
and but because of all the stage acting and what
Exposures, of course.
everything, yeah. So you learn as you go along. It's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. It helps also because if you bring it into your music,
Mm-hmm.
it will help you interpret better.
Mm.
So
How supportive is your family with this kind of career, I
yeah.
suppose, you are having right now?
The time before I said I wanted to become a singer, they were
Uh,
not that supportive, but now they see me that I'm
they had
busy.
doubts.
They were just very concerned because they
Ah.
understand that in this kind of industry, whether you're in the acting industry or in the music industry, it's not like as stable
Yeah.
unless you have a very good management. So they're just very concerned that I might be eventually struggling as an artist, and they don't
Mhm.
want to see me, they don't want to see me have such a hard time in my
Yeah.
life. So they still try to push me towards business, and
Mm.
as a compromise,
That's my
I still
next
do.
question, actually. Did your parents, they didn't convince you to just pursue business and help the family?
I almost became an architect.
Oh, at
um,
least there is an architect, business architect.
I wouldn't because I love like designing as well.
Uh-huh.
It's just a hobby, but like I love designing, and I figured if I could do creativity and
Yeah.
designing, at least if I wanted to get them like to stop nagging me, then they
Mm-hmm.
can probably settle with me being an architect or something.
Yes.
My dad was like, you can either become a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, architect. I'm like, okay, I'll just go with architect.
So your dad is an architect? No.
No, they're all businessmen
Oh
and
yeah,
women.
yeah. Definitely, they're all into business. Now, as a performer, Miss Nins, what are
Mm-hmm.
some of the biggest challenges you've encountered when during performances when you're performing?
During before performances would be more of uh, they would be technical, more or
Oh,
less.
no
Um,
stage fright, never.
there still will be, but fake it till you make it, I guess. You know.
So how do you deal with it on stage?
I close my eyes for a second and pretend nobody is there. I mean, it helps though,
uh,
right?
never what? Miss a line or a lyric?
It happens.
Yes.
It definitely happens, but you have to keep
You have a style
the
already. You adapted to
professional.
that kind of, mga
Yes.
nuances as a performances.
And if it's live, you can't really do anything about it. If it's edited,
Mm-hmm.
at least you
Mm-hmm.
can do some changes, redo it. But if it's live, it's kind of really hard to take back a mistake.
Uh-huh.
So if you do a mistake, number one rule I learned in theater back in the day was, even if you make a mistake, make sure that the audience doesn't know
Mm.
that you made a mistake. Only you will know.
Mm. What are some of your favorite classical Broadway songs?
Absolutely love Phantom of the Opera.
Why?
It integrates a lot of elements from actual opera,
Mm.
and then with the essence of Broadway as well. And
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, the storyline is just amazing. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
And you've watched the movie several times, I
I've
suppose.
watched everything several times.
Now, how do you prepare for a performance, both vocally and emotionally?
Um, I would need an advance notice if there are any changes, just so that I can like mentally prepare, and
Mm-hmm.
also if I need to. I like marking my music. So for example, if
When you
I
say
have
marking, what does it mean to layman's term?
just basically you have a pen and paper,
Okay.
or if it's digital, you have your tablet, and then you start zooming in. You mark the words that you need to
Emphasis.
emphasize, or if you want to interpret it in a certain way,
Oh.
or if you need to modify, or if you have a hard time with a certain phrasing, you have to. It's kind of my way of still learning the song, even if I already know the song. So it puts new perspective, and I absolutely love just doing that.
Now, in interpreting a song or conveying the emotion of a song, do you follow the interpretation of the original singer, or you ask your musical arranger to have it your own?
When it comes to learning new songs, then of course you always have to give an element to the original. But if, for example, it's like it's not that new, everybody loves it, and just for fun you want to give it your
Your
own
own
take,
version.
then you might as well. That's where like things like crossover come in as
Yes.
well. So it's really fun. Like that's what I was earlier mentioning, that crossover is something that I'm delving into nowadays.
But in addition to that, do you always ask the arranger, or do you suggest to the arranger or musical or the director himself of, oh, I want this kind of interpretation for this particular song?
Sometimes I do. If the director already had like notes before, because it's different talking to an arranger versus the director. So if, for
So
example,
you deal with them separately.
Oh yes, quite. The arranger will give you the music,
Okay.
and the music is adjusted to you as a singer.
And
But
your range, your vocal range. too.
exactly, it will have to match your energy, no doubt about it. But the director, he is the overlying eyes for the whole show. So just because you want it a certain way, it can't always be like that, and some people just really won't meet you halfway. So sometimes you just really have to listen to the director. If they say go here, then you have to go here. Sometimes you can suggest if you know that the director might listen. But like
But
if
most often, you just listen to them.
pretty much, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're the boss for that event. Yeah.
How do you keep your voice in top condition?
Um, there's really no two ways about it. Every singer has their own way of taking care of their own voice. Nor the traditional way is to just drink warm things, only water, hot tea, etc., etc. For me, it depends, but I realized that if I drink something cold, it should be after I
The
sing,
performance.
because yes, because like for example, while you're singing or while you're talking a lot, it warms up your vocal cords. So compared to if you drink cold and you start talking, start singing, you might have a bit of a hard time. It's like going to the gym after taking a cold shower. So it's similar like
So
that.
you follow a routine when you're performing.
Sometimes, yeah.
Now, your what kind of vocal exercises do you usually do to maintain your vocal health?
These are more centered around warming up your face. So you make all these faces, you scrunch your face, you open your mouth as wide as you can, and then sometimes if you need your energy up as well, or you need to activate some certain parts of your body, sometimes it would help doing 25 jumping jacks and then singing right away. And then if you have like if there's no piano around in the room, you do scales, you do arpeggios, you just you do all those vocal warm-ups as well.
Okay. Do you have any particular singer or performer who, in your genre, who have influenced you?
I believe back when I was younger, Lea Salonga was definitely, in terms of Disney and Broadway, she was my number one listen to. And even my mentors would be like, listen to Lea Salonga. She's like the number one, and she's really, really good. And if anything, she has really good technique, so you should definitely observe how she sings as well. So
So you watch Miss Saigon how many times?
I watched it once. It's really funny. I met one of the original producers of Miss Saigon,
Oh.
and I told him at the time I actually didn't watch Miss Saigon yet. He
Uh-huh.
came back after like 10 minutes, lent me his iPod. Here, watch Miss Saigon. I have it. And just give it back to me when you're done.
Really?
Absolutely. I felt
Uh-huh.
so honored.
Uh-huh. Then I've heard you also did some recording.
I do, yes.
All original songs or covers?
Mostly their covers. I actually haven't released any original
Ah,
songs
you haven't
yet.
released it. I'm going to ask you about it. If you have that release it commercially, so none of that.
Not yet.
Uh, but originals, do you have also some songs?
I do have some, yes.
Your own composition?
Yes.
You arrange it also?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Somewhat.
really?
But
Multi-talented.
it's so simple though. Like I only
Uh-huh.
use either piano or guitar. Because of course, like if it comes to the production side, wherein I'm learning that now at school, when it comes to the production side, there's a lot of you have to listen for different elements that you want that will fit into your song.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. As you mentioned earlier, that you're now into doing songs, various genres right now. Now, do you also sing like upbeat songs or pop music or
Yeah,
whatever?
sometimes. Super fun. I don't normally sing them for events, but
Uh-huh.
it depends also on who the client is.
Oh, really?
I do sometimes for like
But,
karaoke, jamming.
but your image is already a classical,
Oh
singer.
yes,
But
but
you're not bothered
oh
about
no,
it?
not quite. I mean, like, why not, right? I mean, if you're having fun doing it,
Mm.
right? So, and at least if you want to reach like other or new public
Market.
audiences,
Mhm.
right? So you have to be more flexible in terms of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the techniques are always there.
Ah.
Hindi talaga yan
Mawawala.
nawawala. Yeah.
So is this a career you want to do for the rest of your life?
I think it would help me immensely if I could,
Uh-huh.
but we don't know where the industry is gonna take me yet.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still young and I still have a lot to learn. But
Of course.
I absolutely would love to continue this career.
Do you plan to go to Broadway, and audition for some musical?
I think if the opportunity was there, probably. Why
Did
not?
you ask your parents about it?
Oh, I think they would love to. If the opportunity presents itself, then they'd be so happy for me. I think.
Now, I also heard that you host a show.
Mm-hmm.
That Taralets?
Yeah, tara, let's go dito, Star
Star
Ka.
Ka, yes. UNTV.
Yes, Euro TV. It will be shown also in All TV.
Ah, really?
And then they showed a few episodes already on Light TV.
Okay.
So you can find them
It's
there.
only once a week.
Once a week as of now, yes.
As of now. So when will
Yes.
it start to air on All TV?
On All TV, we're waiting for the go signal, but we've already done the teaser for Euro TV. So that will be out soon.
Okay. How many seasons did you sign for that?
I'm actually one of the newer members.
So, you are one of the new hosts of that new TV show.
Yes.
How did you land even the hosting thing?
I was actually recommended by Lance Raimundo.
All right, so okay.
So he's a friend of mine, and originally I was supposed to be just a guest.
Is
For
this a
the
game show or a musical? What kind of show is this?
It's
I'm sorry,
a variety show.
It's a variety
actually.
show.
We're very inspired by sila Eat Bulaga,
Okay.
the Barkads, and
But
all.
this is a noontime show also.
Yeah.
Competing exactly to this kind of shows you're watching.
Exactly. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's all good vibes lang naman.
You also sing in this show.
Yes.
Mm.
Di talaga yan
So,
mawawala.
yeah, so far, you're enjoying?
Oh yes, of course. Everybody's actually everybody's really good. It's
Mm.
all good vibes. It doesn't matter. We have so many personalities, but once the show comes together, it all kind of fits.
Mm.
Like
But how was the
Puso.
adjustment from a classical Broadway singer to hosting a noontime show, a variety show in particular?
What I realized is that because I have had a couple of hosting gigs before, but
Mm.
it depends also because corporate hosting is
It's
different
different
from
from a variety show
hosting a
host.
variety show. So the energy, what you say, it's all really really different, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a learning curve still. But I think the more that I get into it, the more I learn a lot,
Mm.
especially from people who are already in the show, like sila Lance,
Uh-huh.
si Direct Art Halili Jr. So I learn a lot just by even watching them during their scenes
Mm-hmm.
on the show.
Mm-hmm. But
So.
you have, well, you mentioned you've been hosting before some corporate shows. But
Mhm.
in terms of hosting a variety show, was
Mhm.
it something?
It's totally different. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But I absolutely like
Which is more fulfilling now,
uh
as a classical singer or as a host?
as of right now, I'm still on host mode. As of now, I'm still on host mode, but
Uh-huh.
I it's okay. It's not that hard to switch anyway.
Well, which one is more challenging?
I think still being a classical singer,
Mm-hmm.
even if I've had quite a number of years in it, the
Mm-hmm.
techniques are always quite challenging
It
mentally,
will be
physically,
forever because
emotionally.
you've learned that.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And to keep that for the next several years of my life,
Mm-hmm.
um, it can be quite a challenge as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I want to keep being a singer, I'm gonna have to keep taking care of myself and keeping what I'm passionate about the
Mm-hmm.
most.
If given a chance, is the movie in the pipeline of your
Career,
career?
then okay, I'll do it. Why
Mm.
not? Even just like,
You did audition to this is there's a movie, the Bamboo Flowers, I think.
that one I haven't heard of. Not
Okay,
yet.
with Rachel Alejandro and
No, I
Moira.
haven't. I haven't. No, I haven't heard of that.
Okay, it's all musical.
Oh wow! I
Yeah.
definitely have to watch that now.
Mm-hmm. It will be shown. I don't know if it's going to be shown soon or for the film fest. I'm not sure about it.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are your strengths as a performer?
As a performer, definitely it's fun to fake it until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're on stage, um, you don't show how nervous you are. You don't show what's going on your head.
Mm-hmm.
But backstage, you can see like what kind of a mess I can be a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
especially kung nagpapraning pa ako.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just in preparation for my performance.
Mm-hmm. Any frustrations in the industry you're into right now?
Just more of on the technicals. Parang, if hindi naka, if there's any technical, kung there's no timpla or the speaker's not working, then it will
Mm-hmm.
be quite frustrating because I need all of that
Mm-hmm.
to work
Mm-hmm.
for me, just to make sure that I'm doing my job.
Mm-hmm. What would you consider as your biggest achievement so far in
I
this industry?
think biggest achievement. I mean, besides all the few awards that I've gotten so far,
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest achievement is pursuing my career pa rin. And it
Mm-hmm.
always will be. Kasi considering how before I was being told that if I went into music or the industry, I would not earn any money.
Mm-hmm.
But considering how many performances I've done, people that I've met so far, and things that I've learned on the way since I started, I think it's a very big achievement.
Mm-hmm. But will you be convinced by your family to just work in your company?
I mean, I can still.
Uh-huh.
I can still do that.
Uh-huh.
I just need to find the
Manage
balance.
Unilab? What have you tried working?
I've applied without telling my parents also, so
Oh,
my application is still there.
not your family anymore.
Uh, but in terms of business, I actually enjoy marketing.
Oh, that's
Marketing is
good.
quite fun because you can
It's
still
just
be
like marketing
creative.
your career too.
Exactly, right?
Now, what advice would you give to someone interested in pursuing a career in classical Broadway singing?
If you do decide to pursue the classical Broadway kind of, especially in this kind of generation now, where
Mm-hmm.
social media is very imminent,
Mm-hmm.
if you do decide to pursue this kind of music, especially, it's not going to be the easiest compared to if you start with pop, if you start with like acting. The road to being successful is not about the money.
Okay.
It's just more about remembering what you do, why you do,
Mm-hmm.
and continuing to pursue no matter how many times people tell you it will not work out for you. Because
Mm-hmm.
only you can say that it will or will not work out for you.
Mm. But if you pursue it harder,
You have to work so hard for it. I mean,
is it expensive to study classical songs or music, classical music?
it can be because when it comes to pop, anything goes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to classical, the reason why people expect more when it comes to classical is also the technique, where you learn, what you're
Mm-hmm.
singing. It's all an investment.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not you decide to pursue as a singer or any other music branch,
Mm-hmm.
it it's still a lot of hard work. It's definitely an investment, and if you really want to, then you should tell yourself that you want to.
Yeah. Is
Otherwise,
it worth it in the future?
for me, it's so worth it.
Oh. How passionate are you in pursuing this kind of music genre?
If only I could tell you how many people were telling me I can't sing, or people
Really?
were saying that
Not your
I'm
family, I'm sure.
well, they encourage me to sing.
Ah, okay.
So they love it
Who
when
are
I
these
sing.
bashers?
I not my problem
Oh,
anymore.
how do you deal with them?
I mean, in one ear out the other ear. They have their opinions, I can respect that.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But that's not my problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a good outlook in life
Diba?
at a very young age. Now, Mrs. Nins, in 3 words, how would you describe yourself?
Myself. I'm not very good at this. 3 words that I would use to describe myself is creative,
Mm-hmm.
um, passionate, and I want to say I want to say humble, but I don't know. That's quite subjective. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm. Now,
mm-mm.
how do you stay inspired and motivated?
Um, what inspires me a lot is no matter what mood I'm in, if I start to sing and how I feel after,
Mm-hmm.
it tells me that I love music
Mm-hmm.
and I will fall in love with music every single day of my life. So just knowing that and thinking that, feeling that, it's never gonna stop me from music.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time during our taping of the Tara Let's Go, wherein I was so tired. I was very, very tired. And I just sat down, closed my eyes, started singing. Because I was so tired, I was gonna pass out already. I was like falling off the chair. I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And then I started singing. I blocked out literally everyone in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started singing. And then after I finished the song, I opened my eyes. I felt so much better.
And you perform
Absolutely.
better.
Well, the event was already finishing.
Okay.
But
Uh-huh.
that was when. So it's one of the reasons why I also love music. Music heals.
Mm, yes.
It heals.
Um,
So,
What is your ultimate goal and aspirations as a classical Broadway singer?
Um, as a classical singer, I would love it for people to just enjoy classical music because when you hear about classical music and um, opera and all of these kinds of genres and
Mm.
works, people would think, oh, it's nice to fall asleep to. Or they think, oh, is there anything that's more upbeat? Is there anything faster? I mean, some people, and it's really sad because if you're in Europe, if you're in the States, you say that you're an opera singer, everybody's like, oh my God, wow, ah. Diba? It's so cute. And then the respect they have for you, my goodness. Absolutely. But then over here, if they say that you're an opera singer, like, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, oh, that one, the, oh, oh, oh.
There's no money in that kind of field here.
Hi.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier that your favorite Broadway classical song is The Phantom of the Opera.
Mm-hmm.
Can you treat us for a few lines?
Ay!
Yeah.
Sige. Mm. In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came, that voice which calls to you and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is there inside your mind. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Miss Ina. On that note, please promote anything, any shows, upcoming shows you're having in the days to come.
Ayan.
And maybe your social media platforms, how to follow you.
Sige. So you can follow me on my social media. I have TikTok. You can look for me, Niña Campos Official. On Instagram, my Instagram is at itsneeners, ITZNEENNERS. And on Facebook, you can also look for my artist page, Niña Campos.
And upcoming shows.
I have my concert coming this November. So when everything is finalized, please do come and support and probably watch. And also please support our show, Tara Let's Go. It will be shown on All TV, Euro TV, and Light TV.
On that note, thank you very much, Miss Nina
Thank you so
Campos.
much.
And once again, friends, a big hand for Miss Nina Campos, and good luck to your upcoming shows and to your career.
Thank
and
you.
more songs in the
Yes.
future. At this point, we would like to thank some generous friends. To Mr. Eugene Yap, the General Manager of Bayview Park Hotel Manila, your home by the bay. And to Miss Vernie Galang, the Sales and Marketing Manager, and to her assistant, Miss Shannon Sornes. To the GIA Soap Making based in Davao, and to Fritzy and Olga of Mes Astilia Salon with 3 branches in Metro Manila. And hi to a very good friend of mine, Arthur Catibog, is based in Italy. Thank you for your support. Till next week as we bring you more inspiring stories only here on Klik Celebrity Corner.